It happened just a few nights ago. I was up at the cabin, alone. There's no cell service out there, no neighbors, no real roads, just a clearing in the woods and the sound of wind moving through the trees. Off-grid, quiet, peaceful most of the time. I had the fire going strong. The heat pulsed against my legs, crackling gently in the wood stove. I'd made a cup of coffee, real coffee, brewed slow on the gas stove, and I was sipping it while checking the news on my laptop. The internet barely crawled. Old satellite dish on the roof. Took 30 seconds just to load a single page. But I didn't care. I was warm, the cabin smelled like pine, and the coffee was good. The only light came from the fire and the glow of the screen. It was calm. Then I heard it. At first I wasn't sure. Maybe it was wind. But I paused, leaned a little toward the window. There it was again. A voice, faint, calling out. Help! I froze. I actually paused the video I was watching, thinking maybe it had come from that. But no, I heard it again. Distant, coming from outside. A cold chill moved up my spine. My first thought was, how? Who would be out here? There are no trails, no traffic, and no one just passes by. I listened hard, holding my breath. Help! Same voice, a little louder. I stood up, walked slowly to the front window. I couldn't see anything, just black trees and the faint glow of snow patches on the ground. I waited. Nothing. For a few seconds, I debated locking the door and ignoring it. But what if someone was out there, hurt? I couldn't just pretend I hadn't heard it. So I grabbed my flashlight, pulled on my coat, stepped into my boots, and opened the door. The cold bit instantly at my face. The air was sharp, damp, the kind that sticks to your skin. I clicked on the flashlight and swept the beam across the yard. Nothing. The trees stood like black spines surrounding the cabin. I listened. Silence. I took a few cautious steps forward. The snow was thin and crunchy, not fresh, just leftover patches scattered across the frozen ground. Then, from somewhere deep in the trees, help! Clearer this time. And it didn't sound panicked, just pleading. A whisper. I aimed the flashlight toward the tree line and took a breath. Something told me to turn around, to go back inside and lock the door. But I didn't. I stepped into the woods. Every step felt heavier than the last. The branches above creaked in the cold. Fog had started to gather, just thin mist at first, curling low near the roots of the trees. I kept walking. The voice didn't come again, but I thought I could tell the direction. It had come from further in, so I kept going. Deeper. The fog thickened. My boots crunched softly over frozen leaves and pine needles. Every now and then I'd stop, sweep the flashlight, and whisper out, "Hello?" Nothing. It felt like I was walking in place, like I hadn't made any progress at all. And then the cold hit me. Not the kind you wear a coat for, the kind that crawls up your back and settles at the base of your skull. The kind that makes you feel watched. Still nothing. No voice, no answer. Just me, my light, and a suffocating wall of trees. Eventually, I gave up. I called out one last time. My breath turned to vapor in the air. Silence. I turned back. That's when I felt it. Something was off. The woods were too quiet. Like the entire forest had paused to watch me leave. I walked faster. Branches scraped lightly at my jacket. My light flickered. My hands were getting numb. Then, I saw the clearing. Relief hit me. I could see the edge of my cabin, but something was wrong. The door was open, wide open, and the lights were off. I stopped at the edge of the yard. That door had been shut when I left. I was sure of it. I stood there for a long moment, my breath shaking. Then I stepped forward, slowly, each step louder than I wanted it to be. I reached the porch, raised the flashlight, and called out softly. "Hello? Is someone in there?" No response. I pushed the door open. It creaked slowly. Inside, cold darkness. No fire, no light from the laptop, no hum from the fridge. Just cold and black. The fire had died completely, which didn't make sense. It should have still been glowing. But the wood stove was stone cold. My breath was visible in the air. I stepped inside, closed the door behind me. Every sound echoed. I checked the switch. The power was out. No lights, no internet, no heat. I whispered again. "Is someone here?" Still nothing. I searched the main floor with the flashlight. Living room, kitchen, bathroom. Nothing out of place. Just cold. I lit a couple of candles, placed them around the room for light. My hands were shaking. Eventually, I managed to get the fire going again. The crackle of flame was a small comfort. I sat down in the armchair, wrapped in a blanket. I didn't even try to check the laptop. I already knew it wouldn't work. I don't know how long I sat there, just waiting. Every little creak made me flinch. Eventually, my eyes grew heavy. I must have dozed off, because I woke up to a sound. A single crack, like wood shifting. I sat upright, listening. Then, another, closer this time. Creak, creak. Footsteps from the floor above. I held my breath. Another step, slow, deliberate. I didn't move. My muscles locked in place. Another, then another. Coming toward the top of the stairs. I wanted to speak, to call out, but my mouth wouldn't work. I just listened. Then it reached the bottom, and I saw it. A shape. Tall, still, just beyond the hallway. A silhouette, watching me. The fire flickered. The shadows danced. I blinked, and it was gone. I jolted awake. I was still in the chair. The fire had burned low. Was it a dream? Had I fallen asleep and imagined it? I stood, shaky, looked around. No figure, no sound. But it was cold again. The fire shouldn't have gone out so fast. I walked toward the hallway, and that's when I saw it. The door, open again. Wind was pushing gently at it. Snow was falling outside, light, delicate flakes dancing in the dark. I stepped toward it slowly. Then I saw them. Footprints. Just one set, leading away from the cabin, out into the woods. I stared for what felt like an hour. Eventually, I shut the door, locked it, sat back down, and waited for morning.